All right, all right, all right. Hello, everyone. Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. We are starting a mission today. I got to go finish up some fence. I straightened out the post with the Wifetron last weekend, and then the guys thought they were going to get to it this week, but they ended up they just got too busy. We're still in December. We're still catching up on some fencing jobs, and it happens every year. You know, it's one of those things you want to be like, nope, we're done. I always say basically October 31st, whatever Halloween is. Halloween is always my that's when we're not taking no more jobs, and you better be wrapping up jobs. And unfortunately, we just got some that just, unexpectedly, somebody decides to run into some fence and they bend it. So it's just those things that you run into, and you just gotta fix it. It's one of those things. So it's today, of course, I'm chasing the weather. It's about 45, 50 degrees out right now, but we got big winds coming in right now, and it's supposed to cool off. So Sunday's supposed to be really chilly compared to today. So I might do some video, I might do some voiceover, just because it's so windy, and my lapel, the little fuzzy thing, I think is still at the house. And even if it was on, I think it's still gonna be too windy. It'd be really hard to hear. But we're gonna take a look at it. We'll see what we can do to get this baby hopefully fixed up. Hopefully I got everything. Hopefully. I've been down this road before. You got it. Whoa, you can't hear that, but the wind just hit the side of the vehicle here. Really gusty. So it's gonna be fun because down there right next to the lake shore, Muskegon Lake, look it up on the map. And it's gonna be, oh my gosh, somebody needs to fix that bump. Who's the landlord? Anywho, so I got all the tools. I made a list. I checked it twice like Santa Claus. So hopefully everything's good. You guys are all bouncing around the place. I might just have to get off here. Get off here and drive. All right, I'm getting off here. We'll see you down at the job site. Peace out. This was very unexpected to pull up to the job site and see these gates wide open. And we've had some issues with them, and I'll explain a little bit more. But we have an open signal, so it's wide open for anybody to come in. I've had problems with these timers before. They'll fail, and they won't show you, but they fail internally. So I seen that was just replaced. I'm wondering if that was the issue. The button, no, that's not the problem, because it's not that. We just have this sensor put on too. That could still be the culprit. So I'm not 100% going to rule that one out yet. So we got to figure out why this thing is stuck open. So I got to play detective. To jump over to the they call it master slave, so this would be the slave side, because there's two gate operators on this job site. So I just want to check internally here to see if anything clues me into what could be the problem. Sometimes these reset buttons, and the problem is these guys are hitting these reset buttons all the time on this because they think that'll let them out. And there's just so many people here that they don't quite understand how things work, I guess, and they just start pushing things, and then so sometimes those get stuck. So I was just double checking to make sure nothing looked kind of goofy over here, which I'm not finding nothing that's cluing me off. I'm wondering with all the wind if possibly one of these fireboxes, because they got a switch in there, that maybe the wind is blowing it hard enough and it's making it stay. And then I find this. I'm finding this 2-wire here. And when I take this one off the terminal, I lose my open signal. So that's my culprit. Now, why is there a pair of them tied together? I'm still trying to figure that out. So I had to do a little more detective work, and we ended up tracing some wires, and I finally figured out what was going on after I had to think about it. But like I said, I think my brain was frozen, so it wasn't working that well on the job site. These are just kind of problems you can have with gate operators. Like I said, they get ghosted them sometimes, and it was a real simple problem. It took me a minute. I'm trying to show you that the open light is on, so there can be multiple things that cause that open light to be on. So I'm just trying to slowly play detective. Sometimes I just unplug things without pushing on things. I kind of didn't like that these tabs were right next to this metal. I thought that could be a problem. So I tried unplugging them, but I thought maybe it was making contact with that metal and that was causing it. So I ended up trying to take it off. I think I realized they weren't coming off. So I didn't want to damage them. So I decided to kind of take a different, oh no, I did get it off. Nope, obviously the open light's still on. So It's got to be something else. So we're taking a look around. And then I started thinking about that keypad. That has dual wires. Oh, now see how that's green? These things are kind of weird like this. You want it to be red. Red means no access. So with it being green, this means this thing's locked in. So it's locked open right now. It's like a plow guy. So that's no good. That one's no good. That one's correct. It's red. Red is no access. Green is access, and it's not turning red. So that's not good. So we need it to be red. So like I said, you can see a little closer view of it there.
All right, well, finally figured that out. You know, and it's one of those things when it comes to gate operators, you always need to start out with a simple. Start out the KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid, or something like that. And I didn't do that. I was having a problem. We've had a lot of loop detector problems with this job. This used to be a big power plant. So there's a huge amount of radiation of electricity around this place. And we've had different issues with photo eyes, and we've had different issues with loop detectors. And so I kind of assumed, and then I know they just put in a new timer on it. So I kind of assumed that I thought, that's probably the problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be something there. And then I started tracing the wires, and I kept thinking, what is doubled up in there? And then I started looking, and I said, okay, whatever it is, it's hooked to power too, so it has to power it. What needs to power around here? You know, low voltage. And I'm going, the keypads. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? That somebody entered in the code to hold the gate open. And it's one of those things when you got, there's hundreds upon thousands of people that come through this gate with work, probably through a week. And you got all kinds of different people coming across the state from anywhere, right? And all it takes is one person to get that code, and they just know that gets them in, right? That gets me in. I can remember that. That's my birthday, or that's the year I was born. And they enter in the code, and they don't release it. They don't understand there's a gate opens, and it's not my problem, right? Or they tell a buddy or tell a friend. And so without a communication system of some sort, which they really don't need because the gate stays open during the whole day while they're in business. But what a shocker to come here on a Saturday and it's like, hello, why are the gates stuck open? What's going on here? So I went in there real cautiously, right? Like a little detective. I opened up the cabinet, wanted to make sure it wasn't the release button. But this is also why I tell you guys, you know, you have to think about your geographical area. You know, luckily this is, you know, if this was far away, if this was 30, 45 minutes away, this wouldn't be good. You know what I mean? But luckily, the shop's only 10 minutes away. But it's freezing because we're getting the winds from the north now. So it's getting worse. So I'm going to start working on this fence finally and see if I can get this puppy wrapped up for the guys.
Right. So here we are at the job that I already welded the post on that last video, which if you haven't watched, you should go watch. So I, basically already welded these posts up. I coupled them and sleeved them. And we're going to get started on this. I'm going to show you some little tricks and some little gadgets, and we're going to get started. So I kind of screwed up a little bit. Yeah, my pole there is too short. So I'm going to couple it. Now, luckily, I brung these couplers. I brung 2 of them just for a little emergency like this. You can see that one, see how it slips in there? That's what I was trying to do. But I cut it too short, so now we're going to use this coupler in my hand, and it'll just slip on, well, kind of. It's supposed to. God darn it. It needs to be filed down a little bit. It's just too fat. Figured out over the years, I like to put that coupler right over a line post. It doesn't show up so bad when you look down it. It won't sag or have a whoop in it. So I just like to put them over the line post just like that, and they seem to blend in better.
One thing you guys always know I like with my commercial customers is there's always a put again.
All right, back to work. So I like using these banana clips. They just hold up the fence. So if you're by yourself, which I am today, it doesn't fall over and hit you and fight you with the wind and all those kind of things. So they work really nice as I got to weave the fabric or the fence together. So we're going to get that put back together and that little piece right there. And we got these are nice, I don't even know what these are called, but they work really good for stretching the fence. And we got also our banana clips and those are our dressers. Those red things up there help dress it to make it look pretty. Just getting some of the fence straightened out, tightened. Got the tension band and tension rod and all that kind of stuff. The sun came out, felt great on my face. It was so cold out there. These easy twist versus the aluminum ties are just stronger, better. Showing you how I splice it together right there. See how I made that nip? You'll never make that twist on the top correct. So nip it there and then weave it. It's a lot easier, it's cleaner, nobody sees it. I figured it out by walking down a fence line one time, and I've seen somebody else do it. So that's how I learned how to do it. We're getting that side wrapped up. I think that's the corners all good. Just stretching her tight a little more with the old come along. Have a little fun. All right, you guys. Well, we got her wrapped up. I'm trying to block the mic a little bit here. But you can see behind me she looks a lot better. And we didn't have to tear up the concrete. Put some poles in there. And let's talk about this for a minute. Oh, man. All right. So, here's the thing. It's brisk. I'm not cold, which is surprising. I'm just tingly. Nose, ears. They could definitely use some warmth. So it's going to be welcome when the truck's running here and then we get her going up here in Michigan. So one thing I want you guys to learn that took me a long time to learn, and I didn't really absorb it and didn't pay attention to it, was that what I've noticed in this business, if you're doing fencing, gates, garage doors, garage door openers, is that a lot of stuff takes basically a day. And you go, whatever, man, I get done 2-4 hours. You might. And some stuff is really easy, right? You adjust a photo eye. That's not that hard on a residential garage door opener. But when you do these bigger projects, so I had 10 hours the last time I was here, welding and fixing the bottom. I probably got roughly about the same today. It's probably going to be about 10 hours because you can't see it, but the bed of the truck is a mess. So I'm going to go somewhere where it's nice, right? Like inside a garage where the wind's not blowing on me, and I'm going to have to kind of clean it up. And I actually still got a mess here to clean up, right? I still got poles and everything. So I also got to clean that up. So that means I have to come back, which takes, truck, time to get the truck, at the shop. I, switch some stuff around. It's 30 minutes at least just in travel. So you're talking, there's an hour. And so what I'm getting at is just realize how much this stuff rounds up big time. So if I looked at this job, right, if I was quoting it, I would look at it and I go, oh yeah, it's all of, 12, 14 hours. And sometimes it takes 2 days, 3 days, you know what I mean? But don't underestimate the time because it's easy to forget, the paperwork. It's easy to forget, oh, I got to load this crap up. Oh, I got to load specialty tools into my vehicle. Oh, I got to go clean this thing up. I got to deal with the mess afterwards. I got to get a guy out there. I got to show a guy what to do. There's just a laundry list of things that goes on with these projects. And, was there some things that could have went a little smoother today? Yeah. But you know what was the best part? I didn't have to leave the job site. That's a good day. When you don't have to go back for parts or tools or missing nuts and bolts, I made it work. So obviously I did a half decent job putting together stuff. So that was great. But anywho, I just want you guys to understand that this stuff takes time. And you got to pad that in there, right? Or you can do time and material. There's so many different ways to do contracts, which is really lovely about the business. It's kind of like real estate, right? It's however you want to write up the contract. And once you get the ball rolling, it's a lot smoother. And we're very thankful for this customer. And I got a delicious dinner at home for me. So I'm out of here, man. Food makes me run. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good rest of the day or night or universe or whatever. See ya.